Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Harry Muppet, and we are casting Game 2 of the semi-final between HyuN and GosWser in the semi-finals of the DreamHack Valencia. And I believe I said semi-finals twice there, but we are going to continue on and ignore that small mistake because this game is going to be so awesome. And yes, down the bottom right side of the map, it is our red Zerg player, HyuN, who took out a very, very nice victory last game against our blue Zerg player GosWser. And excuse me a sec. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, really interesting, because you would think that somebody who teched up higher would win, but that's the thing with I guess with every race, but particularly with Zerg play. If you're matching up roach for roach and the roach numbers are so close, actually GosWser continuously in the lead last game with his roach numbers, doing a absolutely fantastic job with his roach numbers. He didn't have the upgrade advantage, but he did have the numbers advantage, and that was seeing him very well through the game. But he did tech switch into hydras. I think it was like the 15-16 minute mark, maybe a bit later than that. Very late, but they'd be getting roaches for freaking ages, man. And yeah, he actually, yeah, he tech switched into roaches, into hydras, and of course he had to get his economy up a little bit to get that working. His roach numbers suffered a little bit, and he didn't get out as much hydras because a hydra costs twice as much as a roach. So one hydra, his roach numbers suffered quite a bit. HyuN stuck to the roaches, did not go for hydras, even though we saw that GosWser was going for hydras, and he just made it work, man. Together with his upgrades, which actually GosWser evened out by the end of the game, getting the same upgrades as him. He just made it work, and the massive amount of roaches defeated the hydras. There were only about 7 out at the end of the game because they're so expensive. I mean, 100 minerals, 50 gas. That's a lot of gas. I mean, for a Zerg that's on 3 base, it's a fair amount of gas. And here we go, though. This is very interesting. HyuN is not going to have his spawning pool out for a little bit because he went hatch first. He went hatched into pool, and that is going to be interesting. So he's definitely going to have the economic advantage there. And I don't know, man, it really, GosWser doesn't really have an advantage at all getting the pull out first. He'll have a queen out first, but unless he's planning on attacking really soon, like going for ling speed or something like that, getting in there nice and fast, I don't think this is really going to buy him anything. And this Overlord running away, he's got to have seen the expansion is already down. And yes, actually it looks like HyuN going for ling speed, so he's got the gas. He's got just enough gas to get that ling speed going, so really good job. And GosWser only just now getting his hatchery down, and I think, yeah, we will have to see how he does with that. Either he had maybe a very tiny window where he could have made something happen with the spawning pull out, but I guess he's just going to have to say, you know what, you just take that advantage, HyuN, just take it, and we'll see how you do in the rest of the game. And GosWser is countering that by getting a ton of workers out, really ton. I mean, if we have a look at the units here, he hasn't got any lings versus HyuN's 2 lings, but he does have a worker advantage. So yeah, these lings, they're not going to do shit though. They're just going to get a scout off, and that's pretty much it, and the queens are just going to decimate them. It actually takes like 5 hits to kill a ling. They might be able to hit a drone, but the chances of them actually killing a drone is going to be stupidly low. Here we go. He can probably hide just around here. The queens are not going to chase him if he's off the creep. So he's staying off the creep, running around, trying to see if anything goes down. If a Roachron comes down, he wants to see it. If a fast lair comes down, he wants to see it. But all he's going to see right now is a ton of workers coming out. And if he had any idea that all of these were going to be workers, man, then he might be thinking about doing some fast stuff. Here he goes. He's going out for a baneling nest. He's going out for a spine crawler, so he's getting a bit of tech of his own, getting some nice gas tech going down actually. So he's gas on the bottom 2 bases. He still hasn't got this gas yet, but I suppose he's saving that one for something special. Baneling nest coming down as well, and GosWser right now is just happy to get the speed going. And yeah, I don't know, man. He's getting down a 3rd base, but then again, so is HyuN. So both players on the same track except for the tech. GosWser definitely going for a Roach Warren. And HyuN is going for something completely different. He is going for a bunch of Lings. And we have seen Lings actually beat... let me just scroll back and see if it was in this tournament. No, it wasn't in this tournament, but I have seen it in a previous tournament. It may or may not have been HyuN. And, oh, look at this attack with the Lings, man. Absolute brilliance there, going in there, doing a nice hit. And HyuN is going to move his forces out. But with reinforcements here, I don't think he's going to be able to do much. He might get into the worker line, but in the end, he is going to be killed. And look at these Banelings just going off, morphing themselves into Baneling. These guys are just going to try and pull these forces away, man. They're going to try and pull the forces out of the way to leave the path open for the Banelings to come in. He's trying to time it beautifully. There we go. The Banelings are out there. The Lings are over there. They're quite worried about defending the third base, but they have made a massive mistake with the Banelings coming in here, and the Banelings are going to make it all the way into the main base, although they are going to be coming down and just wiping out a crap load of Lings. Not sure that was the best. I thought maybe he could have got him into the mineral line. He chose not to. There's still one Baneling left over and a lot of drones at low health. And I think he must have killed quite a few drones there because he is ahead in the front, and goes for 9 workers straight off the bat to try and catch up. And yeah, really, really good. But once again, GosWser getting the third base taken down of HyuN. And let's hope that he can make more of it than he did in this game. Let's hope that he can really get in there and really start punishing HyuN now that he's taken his third base out. He's definitely going for Roach Tech again, as is HyuN. HyuN is building a ton of roaches, but GosWser is actually not got a ton of roaches. He's got a ton of workers though. He's really pumping the workers out hard. He's saying, I'm not going to go for an attack at the 10-minute mark or the 11-minute mark. I'm going to get my workers out. I'm going to go for something a little bit later than that. And here we go. The Overseer is just chilling all over the place, man. Look at this. HyuN already got level 1 attacks out. So once again, extremely good idea to get your upgrades out early. And HyuN really, really knows how to do that. He's actually getting armor before level 2 attacks. He went out and he got level 2 attacks straight after level 1 attacks last time. He obviously wasn't too happy with that. He's getting the armor out now and getting a ton of roaches, but then again, so is GosWser. And GosWser is going to have the economic advantage. And if he can convert that into a roach advantage, then he is going to be on top in this game, especially after having taken that third base down. It's back up now, but you can see the worker numbers tell the entire tale. And HyuN thinking about going out and doing something here. He's got the 1 weapons attack, and he's just about to have 1 armor, but GosWser is just about to have 1 weapons himself. And I think he's got more than enough roaches to hold this off. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who wins, because HyuN has the upgrade advantage, but I feel like GosWser actually has the defensive number advantage right now. He always manages to get a bit more numbers than HyuN does, simply because he's got a bit more economy. Look at this, man. HyuN, off that push, has got a stupendous number of workers out. 59, so he is not behind in workers anymore. But yeah, there again, he's only 4 workers ahead. And GosWser going for level 2 attacks as well, going for a crap load of roaches. Yeah, so I do not know, man. I think HyuN should be fine here. I don't think he's behind at all. GosWser are going to be catching up a little bit on the workers there to sort of even it out. And both players doing very well, but HyuN getting the armor out as well, and this could potentially be what tips the scales. I mean, if we have a look at the units, GosWser are going absolutely nuts on the amount of roaches, and HyuN not quite able to do that much. He's getting out a ton of roaches, but he cannot quite match the roach numbers of GosWser. But the upgrades for HyuN are always really, really awesome. And I don't think GosWser is going to do what he did last game. I don't think he's going to tech switch into Hydras. I think he's got to keep his roach numbers very, very strong and try and make it happen right here. And HyuN is going to have to get a nice concave here. He's got one, but look at this, GosWser, man, forming his own concave right off the bat, and he is in a beautiful position to take this out. The armor does favor HyuN, but the numbers do favor GosWser, and I don't know, this is very, very close. This is very, very hard to tell. 1 second I thought HyuN was in the lead, but I think it might be GosWser. GosWser is starting to get the concave up the top, but his bottom army is getting taken out and reforming the concave on the horizontal, and it looks like HyuN is going to pull this out, man. He's just got the number advantage, and GosWser is going to have to retreat, but it was so close there. And I think just having the reinforcements from HyuN is what sold him that battle, but GosWser is definitely not going to be getting up. He's already got 27 roaches lying around the place somewhere. But it all comes down to the way that this sort of shit happens. Maybe GosWser needs to pull in here. He needs to pull in half his forces here, half his forces there, go in a concave from there and from there. And all that HyuN can really do is pull back to here, form a concave there. That's really the only concave that he can get that really hold off both of these guys, but that leaves his third base completely open. He cannot hope to have a concave. If he gets a concave all the way across there, he's going to be spread out too thin, and these forces here will just wipe these guys out, man. They just wipe out the tip of this concave so easily. So yeah, I mean, if a double push in for both these positions, and I think he can snipe the third from there. This force will probably have to run, and this force will snipe the hatchery, and that will be completely awesome. But we will have to see. We'll have to see if GosWser does that, because he's actually, I don't know, man. I mean, he's got a few workers ahead, yeah, a few workers ahead, a few roaches ahead, but it's starting to bend a little bit in HyuN's favor, because HyuN has the upgrade. He's got 2 armor, and that is pretty freaking massive for a massive roach battle like this. And GosWser, he hasn't got the worker advantage anymore. He hasn't got the army advantage anymore because he doesn't have the worker advantage anymore. And yeah, he's trying to tech into a 4th base to see if that helps him. But yeah, HyuN has the concave here. Very nice concave. GosWser getting hit hard, really hard here. And he is going to have to run. I do not think that he can possibly survive this. Not with the 2 armor going up against him. He's going to have to run. And suddenly HyuN is looking very, very strong in this game. Very strong. And the amount of roaches that GosWser is pushing out is going to be extremely good. But look at this, man. He's now 10 roaches behind. And I do not know if he's going to make this work. He might make it work off his 4th base. He should be able to hold off here, I think. But HyuN getting a beautiful concave. And GosWser is going to try and push around the bottom side to get that concave going. And he might be able to hold off here. But again, with the upgrades going down, I mean, you look at it and it looks even, and then HyuN ends up winning because of his upgrades. And that's why upgrades are so huge. But then again, GosWser has the reinforcements here. He's got his reinforcements nice and close. He pushes in the edges, he concaves around the middle, and HyuN is going to have to run. When you get in that position where they're curving around you, then you just have to run. You've got no choice at that point. And meanwhile, it's just roach versus roach armies. We've not seen any of the fancy stuff that HyuN did last time. Maybe he should try that. Maybe he should run small groups of 4 or 5 roaches into the side here. We know he can do it, and I'd like to see him do it a little bit more in this game, because it worked so well for him in the last game. But it does look like we're going for 4th base, as GosWser has got his up nice and fast. And this is going to be great for building up a ton more units. He's got 1 armor up, so that's going to help him out quite a bit. And he's actually 8 workers in front, so he started building a few more workers again. He's got level 2 armor. HyuN could start to think about level 3 armor, but that's very, very expensive. And he is right on the edge of running out of minerals constantly, trying to get these roaches put out. And going for level 3 weapons, man, that would set him behind. I do not know how many roaches that would set him behind, like 8, 9, 10 maybe, something stupid like that. It's not the minerals, it's the gas. And level 3 of anything costs a ton of gas. And yeah, that is really going to hurt. He's trying to do this. He's sort of got a concave, but he's got a very thin concave. And this massive ball, man, just pushing out, just doing all sorts of good stuff. These forces having to run. And GosWser back in the lead, it looks like. He'd definitely be in the lead if he got this upgrade. Right now, that's the only thing keeping him from completely overwhelming these forces. But look at this, man. HyuN desperately trying to get the forces up, but he's 20 workers behind. And GosWser definitely looking very strong here. But look at this beautiful concave, man. Most of his reinforcements are back home, so the forces here are about even. And yeah, GosWser not getting the layout there that he would have wanted. And HyuN is going to chase him away and snipe a couple of units in the backside. But as soon as they get past this choke point here, he should be fine. And HyuN is not going to chase him all that way. And the problem is, I mean, you know exactly when everybody does everything in this base. Look at this, man. He actually got quite a few hits on this base, man. It is bleeding out nearly. It's quite dead. And if GosWser doesn't start healing this up with some transfusers, it is going to be a very, very easy snipe if HyuN goes in there next time. And oh man, taking this base out when GosWser has pumped up his economy so much, and he's got no mining there. And he wants to be mining off 3 bases, he really does. So if this hatchery goes down, then HyuN is going to be a massive advantage. But GosWser once again giving the Hydra tech a go. He's kept up with his Roach tech for the longest time, and he's not seeing a way out. So he's trying the Hydra tech once again. He thinks with a 4th base, maybe he's now got enough economy to make it happen. And I don't know, maybe he does. Maybe he does. But look at this, actually a lot of workers going down. I think there was an attack down here as well. 49 down. So yeah, really, really nice job from both players. And look at this, 9 Hydras coming out. So GosWser has banked a crap load of minerals right now, but he's actually capped out. He really needs to do a trade-off, start sacrificing some of these roaches. Look at this beautiful concave he's got in here, man. HyuN saw it, and HyuN just had to run for it. He's trying so hard to take this base out. It's so low. Why GosWser is not transfusing that with a couple of queens, I do not know, because it's on death's door. And if HyuN just knocks it over, there we go. 3 roaches coming in, taking it out, and that was a huge mistake from GosWser, not healing that building up, man. He had the queens to heal it up. Why did he not do it? But the base has been taken out, and the income for GosWser is going to go down quite a bit. You can see he's still getting a ton of gas, but his mineral income has dropped. And I think he was in a ton of mineral income before that. And meanwhile, HyuN is switching over to Hydralisk for himself. He's got to start getting the Hydra tech going. And yeah, GosWser actually is teching even further forward. He's going for the infestation pit. Going to try and use infestors versus roaches. Maybe it may be swarm hosts as well, or it may be some crazy hive tech like ultras. I don't think it's going to be ultras though, but it may very well be swarm hosts, because swarm hosts are pretty awesome. And look at this army, man. GosWser has the army. He's got this massive amount of army. Actually, look at this, man. This is where the rest of HyuN's forces are, man. Sniping this 3rd base. And this has got to be the beginning of the end for GosWser, man. The 3rd base goes down. All of the forces survive. And meanwhile, the rest of the forces push in. GosWser is not going to let this one go down, though he's left most of his forces back there. And they don't want to push in there, but they give him a little bit of breathing room, pull back a little bit, and that's all the invitation that HyuN needs to go in and snipe that hatchery. And HyuN, man, so strong. Look at the roaches going in. He wants to make it a trifecta. He wants to take this base out as well, or maybe just cause some general havoc. Queens going down all over the place, man. GosWser just... yeah, he's not liking this game at all. And look at this base. The base is going to go down. I think he might lose all the roaches, but the base goes down. And GosWser, he's got a massive, massive army. And the only good thing I can say about this is that all of these roaches are going to die a very scary death. And GosWser's got so much minerals tanked up, but he can't use it because his army is just too huge, man. He's trying to take that out. He didn't quite get it. And yeah, he's, I don't know, man, losing a ton of roaches there. He did some massive economic damage, but that is not going to help him if GosWser's army comes over and just completely wipes him out now. So he's going to have to build up a ton of stuff very, very quickly. And what is he going out here? He's going to move his forces around, but he's got to be worried about here. The Overlord sees these forces coming in, and there they go. The Overlord's going to be taken out, and he needs to defend this. He can afford to lose this 4th base, possibly after all the economic damage he did to GosWser, but he cannot afford to lose this game, man. If he loses this game, he's going to go to an ace match. And look at these forces, man, getting a great concave. He's got a ton of Hydras, and if HyuN can hold this attack off, he will win the game. No doubt at all that he will win the game. But GosWser doing a very nice push here. He's got a ton of Hydras. He's doing a great job. And I think HyuN might hold this off. I think he might. And I think he is looking like he's in a very, very good position here right now to really go ahead and win this game. And yeah, he's just going to keep going, man. Look at this freaking base, man. There we go. The queen's coming down to get the transfuse on. This is what GosWser should have done. Transfusing that straight away. He did not. But yeah, look at this, man. And long distance mining. Look at that. 220, man. He had so many minerals banked up though, and that is what has kept him in this game. He's getting a ton of infestors because he's got tons of gas. And he's still not doing too bad. I mean, HyuN lost a fair amount of workers as well there. And he's going to continue to get up the forces. But having all of those workers scared away has really dropped him down a little bit in here. So he's not way out in the front like he could be. And here we go. The base is starting to come down. The third and fourth are down, and GosWser is going to be mining off them. I'm not sure why he built this, probably for the gas. But yeah, definitely going to be awesome. Couple of roaches coming in, but they get scared off. No more upgrades coming down. Both players are very loath to go for the level 3 upgrades, simply because they're so expensive. And HyuN pushing in here. But look at this very nice army that GosWser has been able to buy off all of his banked minerals. Look, all of these was gone. He had like 2,000 minerals, 1,000 gas. And saving up that much while holding off HyuN, man, really, really awesome job. I suppose it's because he got his 4th base down a bit earlier, and he just maxed out a bit quicker, but right now, he's actually ahead in the army, man. Just an absolutely fantastic job to stay in this game, losing all of those bases, man. He was lucky. He was so lucky he had all those minerals banked up, because, yeah, that awesome attack by HyuN, taking out the 3 bases. If he had no minerals banked, if he had no gas banked, he would have lost by now. He would have been out of the game, but he just spent everything, got himself an army, and now he is back. His economy is pretty good again, and he sort of evened himself out for losing those 3 bases. So there we go, and we will have to see how well these infestors do. They're going to do very, very well versus the hydras. Hydras don't have much health, so a few fungals are going to be quite insane on these guys. And the fact is, GosWser, man, he's actually ahead quite a lot. He's quite a lot ahead. Let's have a look. 38 versus 24 roaches. 15 versus 20 hydras. So HyuN has more hydras. Quite a bit more hydras actually. Which explains a little bit why the army is so much bigger, because it's just roaches versus hydras. But the infestors, man, the infestors 15, that's completely insane. But he did stockpile a massive amount of gas. And in the end, he just had gas and no minerals, so he basically had to build infestors to make use of all that gas. And the infested terrans going to be a nice buffer. He's trying to get a nice bit of stuff here, but as soon as the fungals start coming down, I do not know how good it's going to be. HyuN is going to be on the edge of his seat trying to dodge fungals. Roaches get hit, but roaches getting hit by fungals really doesn't matter too much. The 4th base goes down, and this is good enough just for GosWser, but he's going to send his own forces in to try and take out this 4th base. All the workers have been scared away. Actually, I think all the workers died. Look at all those workers going down, man. Excellent counter-attack by HyuN. But if he doesn't push this off, man, it's going to be the last counter-attack he does, because he is going to lose the game. And there we go. The Hydra is getting closer and closer to getting fungled here. Just getting constantly pushed back. And this army is the army advantage, man. HyuN is not evening it out. It's just continuing to be awesome. The infested Terrans doing so much good work. And here we go. I think HyuN may have lost it here. I mean, I do not see. His army is just completely dead. He has got nothing left. And it's got to the point where GosWser has just got insane amount of stuff. Look at these guys, man. There's the little mini guns going on. They are just completely awesome. And there we go. GosWser wins the game. Awesome, awesome job from GosWser, taking that away. He was so far behind at some point, man. I mean, losing 3 bases. Your expansion, your 3rd and your 4th. Boom, boom, boom. Lost them all. And I would have said that would have been a game-breaking attack, man. But he banked, man. He had a crapload of minerals banked, and that was what saved him. He moved out his main army, put HyuN on the back foot, got his 3 bases back up, and luckily he had so many minerals banked, man, because that allowed him to get out the main army to save himself pretty much. If he had no minerals banked, he would have been screwed there, but I don't think he expected to get taken out. I think he was just capped. His army was just capped, and yeah, he just couldn't spend those minerals fast enough. And yeah, really great job by both players in this game, doing an absolutely awesome job. But in the end, GosWser pushing it back with the infestors right at the end, man. Infestors so good. I thought it would be mainly fungals, but the infested Terrans, man, did such a good job of providing a buff of their zone, and I think they took out their fair share of roaches and hydras as well. So great job by GosWser. He had so much extra gas, but he put it to a very good use there in the end of that game. And yeah, GosWser taking out game number 2, forcing this series to an ace match. All the semi-finals are a best of 3. So we will see if HyuN can push back in game number 3, try and save himself, or if it's just going to be, if GosWser is going to continue with the momentum that he has just gotten and move on to the grand final. We will see in game number 3. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game. Stay tuned for game number 3.